He's welcome firstly into the blue corner, representing Ukraine, Mikola, Kovalenko. Slovakia, Patrik, Krizan.
Light heavyweights, 93 kilograms or 205 pounds. Mykola Kovalenko from the Ukraine in the blue corner, his opponent. Patrik Krizan from Slovakia in the red. Kovalenko commanding center stage early on. Krizan forced to work on the outside. Kovalenko, a very powerful fighter. A very dangerous rear hand as well. Krizan is going to have to make sure he's looking to counter. He's got to try and make Kovalenko miss. Feeling out process here in round one. Big spinning back fist. Straight to a takedown from the blue corner, Kovalenko. Kovalenko using the head now to stifle the advancement of his opponent. Also serves to allow him to target where the head is as well. He's got to free his arms from this position. Kovalenko looking to pass the guard here. Be careful about walking into the triangle. Senses that. Posture up to ground and pound. Ukrainian fighter now accepting the guard. Doing the pound work here in the blue corner. Only decisive damage, but nonetheless in the top position. The judge's eyes more favourable in the fight. Krizan holding on. Actually looking for the stand up here and also to limit the damage as these weights get heavier. So we're in light heavyweight now. Translates to more mass means more power. So you have to be very, very careful about eating too many shots. Last 10 seconds of the round here. Referee letting them work in this position. Again, the different referees differ in the fact that what they allow on the ground to happen, what they deem as groundwork. You know, if somebody's on top of you and they're controlling you, you know, that's a position where they're dominant. You know, at what point do you stand that up? If you look at the replay here, we'll see how Kovalenko disguised his takedown. He threw a spinning back fist that landed on its mark, immediately changed levels, body lock straight to the takedown, and that enabled him to stay on top. In the second round now, let's see if we can see Krizan make those adjustments, not fall foul to that takedown, to make sure that when he's evading the techniques, he's moving laterally and not just backwards. Welcome to Cage 2. I'm Dean Midhat, live from Prague 2021 IMF Senior and Junior World Cup. Massive opportunity for these athletes to move up in the rankings, further prepare them for the Worlds as well in the end of November. Obviously serves as well an opportunity for those who couldn't make the Euros in Russia to compete, and offers MMA federations to host the IMAF World Cup in their respective countries, boosting the MMA in their region and their team. Got an eye poke there. Krizan might get inspected. Looks like he did hold his face quite urgently. Get some time to recover. Let's see the replay here. Difficult to see from that angle what initiated that eye poke, but we're back to the action. Just over 2 minutes left in round two. Krizan now happy to move on the outside. He starts thinking about pulling the trigger, throwing combinations. Potentially finish with a leg kick or a head kick as well, because as Kovalenko pushes back, he pushes back square with both of his feet side by side. Nice exchange there, just knocking Krizan off the balance. Interesting to see the referee ask for more action on the stand-up, but on the ground they were doing less. So that might prompt them to initiate a ground exchange. Minute and 5 seconds left in the second round. Nice overhand left there from Kovalenko. Seemed to wobble again, lands it straight on the mark. Seems to just be beating him to the punch. Change levels for the single leg. Let's see how much work the referee puts up with now on the ground, because you could argue that there's numerous times that they could have been stood back up. And I favour the grappling. I love grappling. I've been grappling 15 years. If somebody's on top of you and you can't get them off, tough luck, you know. That's where you're going to stay. But there's a point in a fight, if you're not advancing or looking to be busy with the strikes in mixed martial arts or trying to improve your position, then, you know, stalemate ensues. You're going to get stood up. You're going to lose that position. You've got to fight for that position and fight for the opportunity to stay on the ground. You know, every fight starts standing, so you have to implement the takedown. You worked hard for that takedown. If you got it, now work hard to keep it. You know, work hard to keep this fight on the ground. Some nice punches here for Kovalenko. Ten seconds left. Time. Could be a low blow. Yeah, it was a low blow for sure. Could have been one of the up kicks, actually.
All right. Only a couple seconds left. You okay to go? What do you mean, fighter?
Back to the action. Ever so briefly, this was the end of the second round. See the replay here. There was the poke again. Again, difficult to see. It might have just been the lead hand. Hopefully this is a different angle. Oh, no, that was the overhand left that wobbled Krizan. And again, Kovalenko has landed the more cleaner shots between the two, for sure. You know, he's ended up on top as well and stayed in that position. So you could argue that it's 2 rounds down for Krizan in favour of Kovalenko. Krizan now's got to go for broke. He's got to start to try and land these power punches. It's a difficult thing to do as well, especially if you tasted power from your opponent. You fall foul to moving back and trying to avoid it. But when you engage, you start to implement your own game plan. You know, your skills are going to shine through. You have to pull the trigger to shoot the target. You can't keep the ammunition in your pocket and never be in the firefight. That's the thing. And perfect example of that is Krizan from Slovakia. He needs to start to pull the trigger now and empty the magazine. There we go, just does that, but gives up the clinch here. He can try and separate. He's working up against the cage here, but if I was in his corner advising him, I'd say try and separate from this position. He can get the takedown, and unless he can finish in a crazy way, like the ground and pound, submission, you know, he's not going to see a finish. He's got 2 minutes and 30 seconds to work. It's a long time to be in a fight, but it's not a long time for them to work, you know. When you're in it, you it seems like forever, but on the outside, the time does go quite quickly. So this is what Kovalenko really needs to be careful of when he's back up against the cage. The strikes, look at that, duck under the hook. Just an overcommittal from Krizan. He had the right idea of firing those punches up against the cage and then backing off, but he just put a little bit too much into that left hook. And that's the thing, he pulled the trigger, but he just held the trigger down too long. You know, it's one of those things where you have to be crisp and calm and move in and out on range, much like Conor McGregor fights, you know, that in and out bouncy footwork, almost like a points fighting style, and have power at the end of your punches as well. Use a lot of leverage from your hips. A lot of fighters like that hold their hands down as well, because it allows them to swing the arm in to get a bit more power. So when it does connect with the chin, you often see more knockouts. Oh, double big overhand right there from Kovalenko. Kovalenko again finds himself in the top position. The referee more active to stand them up now. Nice knees to the body. Big knees to the body here. You can see the wince on Krizan's face. And that prompted him to try and frantically get back to the full guard. Kovalenko now with lots of pressure from the top, accepting the full guard. Overhook for Krizan. Kovalenko seems to be the one chasing the top position now, trying to chase the guard pass. That's what's keeping the ref happy in this instance. Oh, drop of the mouth guard here, right at the end of the round from Kovalenko. And he's done enough to win there. You know, he's got, if he comes away with the win, at least he's got to fight again in the tournament, at least once, possibly twice. So the smart players, look at the replay here. It seemed like there was maybe an injury or a trip or a slip. And he ate two big overhand rights here. The first one landed a bit more cleanly than the second one.
Representing Ukraine, Mykola.